Hi, hope everyone's good out there. I am Makhekhe, and I've been having quite an interesting conversation. It's about pressure, and I received a question which says, do we put a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves, especially as the youth of these days? You know, people who were born in the 90s and upwards, even people born before that, really. But in any case, do we put a lot of pressure on ourselves? Firstly, I'd like to ask, what is pressure? See, now that right there is a good question. See, pressure is the force that is applied on a unit surface. Wait, no, that's not right. There we go. Pressure is the force that compels. So something that compels you to do a certain thing. So now that is pressure. So if you have homework and you have to submit it, that is pressure. The homework, the submission date compels you to do it before then, and that is the pressure that you have for that homework. So it's the conversation. Since I was asked if I think that we put a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves, it's interesting. I can't just give a straight answer to that, but I thought this would be something good for me to talk about in the video. So pressure will make you want to be somewhere that you actually don't want to be, and this happens a lot, especially with the influence of social media. So I'm 25. So imagine me on a day that, say, I'm sad or I feel lonely or something, just I lost something or I'm not feeling very good, and I go to social media, say Instagram, and I'm looking through there and I see a guy who's 20 years old driving a very nice car. Then I go and scroll on a few posts down, and I see this girl who's driving another nice car that I like. I scroll down a few and there's this girl who has a big house that she just bought, and I scroll down some more and I see this guy who just bought a new flat, or they're just collecting rent from one of the flats they owned. And now all these 4 things that I'm seeing, and let me say I continue scrolling and I see 6 other things, all these 10 things that I'm seeing, I'm feeling like I should be there, because all these people I'm seeing here are younger than me, and here I am at my age and I haven't reached even close to where those guys are. So now I start putting this pressure on me. So now that I feel is unnecessary pressure, because those were my dreams. Those weren't the things that I wanted to achieve at this point in my life. But now when I look at them and I see them, and this happens every day to a lot of people. You go out there, well, don't have to go anywhere really. You can do that from inside your house, wherever you are. Just go on your phone and you're scrolling and you see a lot of things, a lot of guys who have a lot of things, and you're thinking to yourself, why don't I have these things? What am I doing wrong? And then you start putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself, because all these things that you see from these 10 different people from different backgrounds, different education, different whatever, all these things that they have, you think you should have, if not all of it, but at least some of it. Now you realize that there's 10 things that you see, pressure that is divided among 10 people. You are now taking it all and putting it on top of yourself. So now that, I think, is unnecessary pressure. It's one thing to change what you want. So say I am looking at these guys and I'm realizing, oh, okay, so these guys went and did what they did to get what they want. Now I start feeling, you know what, I think I should also start acting, start doing what I need to do to get to where I want to be. So now that's a bit different, because you were relaxed and you wanted to be at a certain point, and your mind sort of relaxed because it sort of forgot, got into a comfortable place, and you started relaxing, had a nice life and things like that, whatever. But now with these things you realize, oh no, you know what, I actually wanted to be somewhere like this, or maybe not even there, but somewhere close. And that just reignites that spark that you once had to be somewhere that you have wanted to be. So now that, I don't think, is unnecessary pressure. It really depends on how much you balance and how much you interpret the stuff that you see, how it impacts you and how you take it in. If you take it in, it's like, in a negative way, feeling that you're not doing well, you are a loser, and all these bad and negative stuff, that is unnecessary. That is you just killing yourself mentally, killing yourself emotionally. But if you use this to jumpstart yourself, to kickstart your the spark that you once had in yourself, the motivation to try and push you to get to that point that you once wanted to get to, that I think is necessary. I think it is important for people to realize where they want to be and to start acting today. When I got into varsity, in our first lecture for Introduction to Engineering, our lecturer told us, you don't know how little you know. In other words, you don't know how much you don't know. So at that point, I mean, you're just a guy from high school, or a girl from high school, depending on who you are, whatever, and you don't know much really, and you're just a naive person. Especially if you were doing well in high school, you think you know everything, you've got this, and all the hard work's behind you, and now everything's just gonna float on. You're just gonna pass, get through varsity, and then you're gonna get the nice cars and the big houses and everything. 5 years later, you realize, ooh, none of these things have happened, and that's okay. You just didn't know what you didn't know, and then you by the end of it, actually, interesting thing, I think at the end of the course, this guy actually told us that now you know, or now you have an idea of how little you know. And now I start realizing that, I actually don't know much. I still have to go out there and learn things. I still have to go out there and educate myself and find out information. And if you use social media as a platform for that, for finding out information, that is you putting necessary pressure on yourself. If you use television as a platform for you to find out information, that is a good pressure. I mean, I spent a lot of time, especially in high school, watching National Geographics and stuff like that, because I knew there was information there for me to gain. But even after, when I went to varsity, I lost that because I didn't have TV and all that. But now that I'm done, and with the influence from my friends have really influenced me a lot, because they sort of re-sparked the flame that I needed to push me to get me to want to work harder, to reach a certain point that I know I want to reach, to actually reevaluate myself and try to figure out who I actually want to be. So there's this friend of mine that I have. Every time we talk, he used to tell me a lot of things, and I'm wondering, like, where does this guy know all this stuff from? And I'll start learning and figuring things out. And when I think I have something new and I'm telling it to him, like, yeah, I know about this, and then he starts explaining that thing to me. I'm like, how does this guy know everything I don't know, including everything that I do know? What? How? and it was very interesting. But then now that I'm able to think about it, I start realizing that it just makes sense. It clicks in with what that guy in varsity was saying, that you don't know how little you don't know. But the more I learn every day, the more I realize how little I know. So if you want something and you really want it with all of you, you should work for it. And the best time to start working for it was 2 years ago. And unfortunately 2 years ago has passed, but the best time to start, the second best time to start it, is now. And if you realize that, look, I should have been here by now because I should have started doing this back then, don't just sit in that regret or in that sorrow that, I should have started back then. No, reset the clock, start now, start learning, start implementing, start whatever it is that you can actually start doing right now. It's okay that you wasted that time. Maybe it's not okay, but it has passed. There's nothing that you can do about it. At this point, you have to start afresh. So just get in there. The people who give out motivational speeches telling us to start working, start going for what we want, they're not putting unnecessary pressure on us, telling us that if you want something, you'll do it. If you're not doing it, that means you don't really want it. Don't look at it negatively. Look at it positively. Like, okay, so this is what this guy's saying, that if I want this thing, I actually have to work for it. But then I don't have this, I can't because of this. Those are all excuses. You should start thinking, how can I get around all these things to get to where I want to get? How can I bloom in this darkness? Because we all know flowers don't bloom in darkness, but you are not a flower. You're not limited. You're able to move around. You are kinetic. You can do whatever you want to a certain extent. So don't live in the shackles of your own mind. Free yourself, know stuff, explore, and that will allow you to reach out and explore your true potential. I feel like that came out wrong. And really go for what it is that you want. It shouldn't matter who has something or who has what. What should matter is what you have and what you want and where you want to go. If you see someone having something on social media, say there's a certain guy who has a certain car and a lot of girls are all over him, and you want to have that same kind of feeling, and you work hard and you get that type of car, and then the girls aren't reacting to you the way you thought they would, or the way they're reacting to him, then you're still gonna feel bad because you weren't doing this for you, or you weren't doing this really for the right reasons. But if you actually just want to do this because you actually love that car, by the time you get that car, you are fine. You're not depending on the reaction of other people or on the approval of other people for you to be happy. No, you'll just go out there, look in the mirror and be like, you know what, this is the body shape that I wanted. I am happy. Instead of you being like, yeah, I got the body shape that I wanted, the one that looks like I now look like The Rock, and you go out there and none of the girls are whistling, none of the girls are even looking at you, and like, but why is none of this happening? And then you're not happy. Well, you did achieve that thing that you thought that you wanted, but it's because you didn't really want that thing that you did it, and now it's coming back to bite you because you worked hard and you got there and you're still not happy because what you wanted was not something that you really wanted deep inside. So you didn't actually go for the thing that you actually wanted. You actually wanted something else, and it's just a tricky situation from there. Forgive me for going on for so long, for making such a long video this week or today. It's just this topic was really interesting, and I really could go on a bit more, and I feel like a lot of us, especially as young people, we really struggle with this too much, and it's something that society should help address, and we should help each other address and get through. And I hope that I've been helpful. I hope that you guys can learn from this, and I hope that you can teach me stuff from this, because I know that there is a lot that I, Kevin, do not know, and I want to know. I want to learn. I would like you guys to teach me, to correct me, to tell me if I'm messing up, to whatever it is, just communicate. In any case, guys, enjoy your week. Merry Christmas, I guess, but I still come in before. But I hope you guys are enjoying your December, and bye.